Modern Warfare 4's multiplayer reveal and beta kickoff next week, and with that, we're bound to see a ton more reveals, and of course, included with the beta and our first real hands-on experiences are our own genuine impressions of the game. However, with things leading to a head with that reveal, and all things to follow when the floodgates open, we've started to see some ramp up in marketing, messaging, and general communications, and one specific mention raises a ton of questions that I believe we'll see answered next week, but is absolutely worth having on your radar of what to look out for. So as we go along, drop your thoughts down below, drop a like if you enjoy the video, and make sure to subscribe for more Modern Warfare 4 and other FPS coverage. We've got an absurdly busy fall upcoming, and I'd love to have you in the community. Finally, check out my friends over at Advanced GG, where code Espresso can get 10% off your entire order, but more on that later. For now, let's get into it. So first and foremost, of course, the beta is going to be following the Modern Warfare 4 reveal on the 21st. What we know about it content-wise is, well, actually very minimal. Nothing really officially just yet. The full details of that is likely to be published in a blog post coming in the next few days, or potentially starting next week as they get ready and gear up for Modern Warfare 4. We're going to see that kind of intertwined with a bunch of stuff for Season 5 Reloaded for Black Ops 7 as well. So the next week or so for COD news in particular is probably going to be pretty busy, but across multiple different projects. But here's where things take an interesting turn. Yesterday, there was another From the Ward episode released for Modern Warfare 4, that behind-the-scenes documentary-style series on the development of the game. In this one, it was focused on Fanatics Fest and the reception to Kill Block and all that kind of stuff. It really wasn't the most revealing of From the Ward episodes that we've seen in terms of like gameplay or new details, right? I mean, we've had gameplay showcases and reveals there, clips, all that kind of revealed in prior ones, but this one was kind of just a recap of the event mostly, talking about the preparation to get this shown off on the global stage in a public fashion, in a convention open to the masses here at this one, and just kind of talking about that from the behind the scenes. But here's the thing. When you're looking for clues, you're going to have people that are looking at things 99% of people wouldn't end up finding. And this is a perfect example of that. What am I talking about? Well, we actually just played it. Did you miss it? If so, I don't blame you, but let's try that again. How about now? Did you catch it that time? Still no? Again, I don't blame you, because for a short few seconds in a walkthrough shot of the studio's gameplay pit is this. A menu slice that says hashtag Zodiac Resurgence Quads Creator. Now, okay. For something so small, that's actually quite telling in a sort of vague, ambiguous way, but telling no less. The first thing we can pull from this is a code name of a new map called Zodiac. This being something we haven't quite heard of, at least to my knowledge. Every single map ends up having a code name associated with it. Some of the things that people were trying to immediately associate this with was Von Del returning here, but that had a code name of Delta in the game file, so we wouldn't see that sort of reused in that same sense. So it appears this is a new map of some kind. The second thing you can pick apart is that it's a Resurgence map, or dubbed Resurgence in the game files at the moment, where, listen, admittedly, I haven't paid too much attention to Warzone and stuff like that, but if I'm not mistaken, the last Resurgence map that we had was Fortune's Keep in Season 4 here with Black Ops 7, and before that was Haven's Hollow with Season 1 of Black Ops 7. So while a returning Resurgence map, the last new one we saw was Haven's Hollow, so maybe this is something that is Infinity Ward's Resurgence map coming here alongside this at some point. But okay, we see a little bit of a teaser for something further down the line, right? No real biggie, that happens, whatever. But here's where it gets really interesting and where there's a kind of twist in the development of the story. Again, keen-eyed people did end up spotting this from the Ward episode here, this teaser, and so it started to get some traction on social media. And in particular for this mention, the news account Detonated tweeted, "New Modern Warfare 4 Resurgence Warzone map codenamed Zodiac was spotted in the latest From the Ward episode," to which the following was said. "Let's hope we don't have to wait a year to get this new map like they did for Avalon." Followed by, "I'd assume Season 1 would just be the Resurgence map, don't know what else they could do." And the official Call of Duty CM account, again, the account for the studio community teams that we've mentioned here recently, they said, "Find out in ... beta, ? So, beta, like multiplayer beta or something else? Because this could mean a number of different things. Number one, it could be that we have a Warzone map in the beta upcoming. Number two, it could mean maybe there's a Warzone beta. Or perhaps three, it's something else entirely, but quite strange to have this communicated as such. But, I mean, how out of the realms of possibilities are either of these scenarios? Honestly, I don't think it's too crazy to consider, truthfully. There is historical precedent, though not a ton, but repeated elements that we have seen that it's not just a one-off oh, that happened one time, they'll never do it again. Most recently, we saw that Zombies was in the beta of Black Ops 7. This being the most recent example, we saw the training course and then the survival of Van Dorn Farms for 2 days during the early access portion of the Black Ops 7 beta. A very limited run, but the first time we'd seen any sort of zombies in the beta for a COD title. But not the first time that we saw a third mode introduced in a beta capacity of some kind. Though, the first time that happened, it wasn't a part of the multiplayer beta, but was instead its own beta. I'm talking about Blackout. If you guys remember the precursor to Warzone, Black Ops 4 had its own battle royale of Blackout. This was something that had its own public beta for the PlayStation players first on September 10th, that still being when there was that sort of exclusivity window for stuff, but it lasted from September 10th to September 17th of 2018, with Xbox and PC players gaining access a couple of days after on the 14th going until the 17th. But a public playtest that was available for the first time ever to have a third mode introduced in an early playable state. And what I find most striking about that, in the comparison that we can think of to, again, the historical precedent here for this, was if you paid attention to COD betas in the past, a lot of the times they're really close to the launch of the game. They're either borderline genuine beta potential versus just being marketing gimmicks, or they are straight up a just marketing gimmick, where if there's the potential for genuine feedback to be taken into account, there's usually minimal changes that could be accounted for in most cases because they're getting the game ready to be certified gold, for it to be able to be sent out to be pressed to disc for physical retailers, to be certified with first-party platforms like Xbox and PlayStation. But then there's ones that is just like, there's genuinely no way it's not a marketing gimmick. The one that I always go back to is the Infinite Warfare beta. That was a straight up demo. Like, there was nothing changed from beta to launch, no time for that to happen, because I think the launch of the game was like 2 weeks afterwards. But what you had was truly the launch of the game, just sectioned off in an MP partition and levels that you couldn't actually obtain, but everything was visible there. But for Modern Warfare 4, with nearly 2 months from beta end to launch, that's time for the game to undergo relevant changes and a much wider gap than we normally see. And well, leading to launch, Call of Duty's marketing isn't particularly going to let off the gas. That's kind of the prime time for when you start to reel in these pre-orders, when you start to get these sales numbers ready to go and primed, because people have had their hands-on experience. They're either not looking forward to it anymore, or they're really gearing up and ready to go and actually excited for what's upcoming. So to have a whole month of potentially nothing in September, because, I mean, right now, there's nothing currently scheduled post-beta, I don't see that happening. So maybe we do have a Warzone beta, or, I mean, is it crazy to consider potentially a DMZ beta, given that the Blackout beta, the only other time we saw a secondary beta of sorts, that was the third mode in Black Ops 4, given that there wasn't any campaign that year. You had multiplayer, zombies, and Blackout. So, like, is that possible? Some people immediately jumped to the idea that this was Hajin, and we do not know the codename for Hajin at the moment, but, I mean, how would that work? We saw the designation of Resurgence, but, like, what if it's not exactly that? Likely all of this will be revealed next week with COD Next, and full reveal of further information during this presentation, but, like, it's interesting. Why would we see something so seemingly arbitrary in this behind-the-scenes footage, then harped on by the official community account for Call of Duty, teasing beta? I don't know, it seems like it's adding to a little bit more in a surprise gameplay sense than what we may expect to see, but that's where we're at. So what do you think? What do you make of this? Do you think it will be something for a Warzone map within the beta? Do you think we'll get a Warzone beta itself? Do you think maybe it could relate to a DMZ beta of some kind? Let me know what you think, but it's certainly interesting. Wanted to share with you guys some linear thoughts. That's going to wrap it up. Before we do, a quick heads up, we've partnered with our friends over at Advanced GG. A bit under the radar here the last few months, but we're ramping things up now, going into a crazy busy fall with multiple large game updates for games like Arc Raiders and future seasons of Battlefield 6, new launches in Modern Warfare 4 and GTA 6, and everything in between. Advanced is the healthier energy supplement option. I use it as my daily comparable cup of coffee, currently drinking the Raspberry Lemonade and Magic Rainbow Sherbet as two of my personal favorite flavors that I'd highly recommend, and On that note, we've actually co-branded the Rainbow Sherbet along with a few other items on their site, like a 26-ounce ice shaker cup. But for real, I love this stuff, and if you're looking for a replacement for your own cups of coffee, give this a try, check it out, or grab a restock here before the craziness of all the games and updates coming later this fall. And if you decide to, Code Espresso can get 10% off your entire order, but no pressure at all. I just appreciate you checking it out, and of course, checking out the video. But now that's what we're gonna call it, so let me know your thoughts once again down below. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed the video, and make sure to subscribe for more Modern Warfare 4 and other FPS coverage. We got a very busy fall upcoming here between new game launches, major updates for existing games. I'd love to have you in the community for all that kind of stuff. But for now, that's what we're gonna call it. Thanks so much for watching. Mine has been Espresso. I'll see you later. Take care and peace.